Yo, hey guys, it's poppin', Jacques Slade here. Back with another unboxing, and today, my friends, they are finally here. I've been waiting to get these on my table for a very, well, I shouldn't say for a very long time. It feels like a long time just because I am such a huge NASA fan. If you follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, or if you watch the Outside the Box podcast, you've heard me talk about NASA on and on and on and on. And now the collaboration with Nike Basketball and Paul George is finally here. All right, so there were a couple of different boxes. This isn't the only boxes. I know Finish Line had their own particular box. I ordered this pair from Nike, so this came from the sneakers app, and this is the box that they came in. As you see, it says Paul George 3, has some like computer-ish things on here, has Palmdale, which is where he is from, but otherwise it's a regular Nike box, but they just dropped it in white, which I think is really dope. Kind of makes with the whole NASA theme. I'm not sure if every PG3 is going to come in a box like this, or if this is just special because this is the NASA collaboration. So I'll keep you guys updated on that as soon as I find out more. I'll either put it in my story here on YouTube, or you'll see me tweet it out. So make sure you're checking me in both of those places, obviously, to find out that information. But enough talk, let's get right into the shoes. I'm really excited about these. I could not wait for these to come out, and now that I ordered them, I actually regret that I didn't order more. Oh, yes. So look, oh, all right, let me get them both out here. I'm just like super pumped about these because this is something that I have been waiting for a very long time. Beautiful shoes. As most of you guys, I'm probably were as well. I was a big fan of NASA as a kid, and I wanted to go into space. So anything that kind of ties that world to the world that I'm in now, which is sneakers, is always like A1 in my book. So this is the new PG3. It was designed by Tony Hardman, obviously for Paul George. And there was a focus on three things on this shoe. So this is going to be a mix of me fanboying over the NASA parts of the shoe, but also giving you some technical details on the shoe, so you have a good idea what to expect when it comes to grabbing these, even though you may not necessarily get this NASA pair. If you want to just get this pair in a regular colorway that you want to ball in, I'll give you the details about that as well. So with that being said, let's hop right into it. First of all, let's start with the Zoom airbag. As you can see, Nike actually highlighted it here by making it red here on the outsole, which, you know, lets you know that it's in the forefoot. There is no zoom in the heel. And Tony did this basically based on the way that Paul George plays. He plays up on the ball of his foot quite a bit. And so this adds that extra responsiveness that he needs when he's transitioning on the court, whether that's on offense or on defense. You get that zoom bag right there. And it's a pretty good size right there. And you can see how it actually rises just below the tip of the outsole, so you do get that extra push in it, and that zoom bag pushes right back up on you. From what I understand, they actually used a softer foam for the midsole, so you got a better feel of the zoom bag in here. I actually haven't tried these on yet. I literally just took them out the box so you guys could take a look at them, but I'll try them on at the end of the video, even though I'm not gonna go play ball in them today. But that's the first thing. Second thing was traction. So there was like the fit, the weight, and the traction in these shoes. Second thing is the traction. So the traction here, as you see, there's a bunch of little circles, and the thought behind that is that Paul George would get traction in any direction that he went in, whether he was going forwards, going backwards, that's not forward, going forwards, going backwards, or going sideways, he'd still be able to grab traction with the little circles that are on here. Taking a feel of these, they do feel like they have a little more durability than your average rubber of an outsole that you get on a shoe like this. And part of that, I think, is because this is one of the lower priced basketball shoes. I imagine Nike is thinking that a lot of kids will actually play in these outdoors, and so they need the rubber that is a little bit harder, that's not as soft, so that they can handle it and withhold, like playing on concrete or playing on cement or playing on the blacktop. That's what the purpose of this is. And it actually it doesn't feel hard. I shouldn't say, I don't want to make it seem like it feels like it's hard. It's definitely just not as soft as you usually get. Now, when it comes to the fit, they added these wings here at the bottom to help keep you locked in. You actually saw this on previous Paul George's models. So this keeps you locked in, or keeps your foot locked in here. So a little bit of extra wrapping around your foot to kind of keep your foot locked in and locked down to the midsole of the shoe. Now, that's some of the technical details. They also made the shoe lighter. From what I understand, this shoe is about an ounce or so lighter than the previous models. And then also this has more of a knitted upper here that gives you a softer, more sock-like feel for the shoe. But that's kind of like the technical side of things. But really, this pair in particular, the reason I got these is obviously because of the way that they look with the collaboration with NASA. They went as far as adding the NASA logo right there on the heel. I'm just really super excited about it. They have Apollo 14 on the heel of this one. The Apollo patches and the NASA patches would have been enough to sell me. They could have made this shoe purple and put the patches on there and I would have been like, yes, let's get them. But they took things a step further and actually used the orange from the spacesuits. Now, a lot of people wonder, like, why did NASA actually make orange spacesuits? Well, the purpose of that was the suits that these suits are actually used for re-entry or when you fly, basically when you go up to space and when you come back from space. And the purpose of that is that when you land really here on Earth, that this bright color pops out. It's almost like a safety orange, so that if an astronaut lands in a mountain range or somewhere like that where it's like densely populated, or there's a lot of woods or whatever, or they're out in the ocean, that this orange would pop out automatically and people would see it. I believe this is actually the same color that they use on the Golden Gate Bridge, or one of the bridges in San Francisco as well. So that's why that orange comes out, in case you were wondering why that orange was there. Now, as far as Paul George details, they have his logo there on the tongue, although on the right shoe, they use the American flag right there. The orange suits are actually not the suits that they wear anymore. They actually wear silver space suits now these days, which is where you get the silver here and the silver here. At least that's what I'm imagining that's why that is. But the new space suits that they wear are actually silver, and some of them are white and some of them are silver as well. So I imagine that's where that comes from. Final details on NASA are on the insole. You can see they have NASA insoles on the foot liners, which makes me not want to wear them because I don't want to wear that out. So maybe I'll switch out those insoles so I can kind of keep those in peak condition. As far as Paul George details go, there's a quote that he uses that says, "Don't tell me the sky is the limit when there are footprints on the moon." Obviously, something that we often say is like the sky's the limit when it comes to opportunities and things that you can do. And Paul George is saying, don't limit yourself, basically, that you can keep pushing yourself and keep trying more and more and more. And obviously you can go past the sky, you can go to the moon or go to the stars, go to the sun, wherever it is that you want to go outside of this galaxy. All of those opportunities are here. So I really resonate with just the whole concept of this shoe. As far as more details for Paul George, it has 93552, which is his zip code in Palmdale. There's also a NASA research facility in Palmdale, which is part of the reason why they did this colorway on this shoe. Again, I'm just overjoyed here for this whole process. And then if you really look at the outsole, there are numbers and dates here on the outsole that relate to Paul George. I think one's his birthday, one has to do with like the 405. There's different numbers that he's worn, and you can actually see some of those numbers here. 661 is the area code for Palmdale. 1990, that's when Paul George was born. And then 405, which is obviously about the 405 freeway, which is literally probably the worst freeway when it comes to traffic in LA. But that's really all of the details, at least all that's popping out to me right now. And I just wanted to give you guys a quick look at these. Big shout out to the color team and Tony Hardman have put this colorway together. I am obviously heads over heels. As you guys can see, I am just gushing about this colorway just because it just makes so much sense to me to combine something like basketball and NASA. Both are things that, like, as a kid, there was like 3 things I wanted to do. I wanted to be an astronaut, I wanted to be a basketball player, and I wanted to be an entertainer. And basketball and astronaut are 2 things that I weren't able to do. But in a sense, I'm kind of being an entertainer here on YouTube. So I met one of those goals. So the other one is to see if I can go into space one of these days. Anyway, with that being said, as always, guys, hope you enjoyed this. These are currently sold out. I believe they're available on resale sites if you want to go on a resale site and try to grab you a pair. But I just really love this colorway. And yeah, I'm fanboying out in a sense over NASA. So I apologize in advance. Well, actually it's too late now. Apologizing afterwards. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go try these on real quick just to give you guys a quick look and see what they look like on my feet. But otherwise, as always, I appreciate you. Make sure you like, favorite, and subscribe. And if you really like what you see here on this channel, why don't you go ahead and turn on those notifications. I'm Jacques Slade, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace.